Hi, I'm your host, Tamara Caulder Richardson, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. Today, we have a phenomenal guest. We've had them before, so please be sure to check out her other episodes. And today, I have Buddhist and author, as well as consciousness influencer Von Galt. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about her. She has a couple books. Well, really, she's working on her third one, but they're called Buddhist Mandalas. She has two in the series. One is Explore Parallel Realities with Sacred Geometry, and the second one is Christ Consciousness of a Multidimensional Merkabah. Now, she's here to talk about her path as a traditional Buddhist, as a child, and then how that morphed and developed in her spiritual journey, as well as how it went into, what is 5D consciousness? We're creating the universe. She's going to talk about being a pre-life planner, as well as the multiverse, and really get into the Mandela effect, and gives us examples of the Bible. She has some super old Bibles, like from the 1500s. She's going to show those to us, and she's going to get into comparison, how things have changed, even down to the Publishers Clearinghouse winner, as people remember it. So it's some crazy stuff. We're going to go down this spiritual rabbit hole together. We're going to have a fun, wild ride. So buckle up and enjoy. And thanks for supporting my channel.
So basically, everybody has two halos. You are a bubble, okay? You are a Merkabah, your energy field. Your Merkabah projected out your physical incarnation that you're experiencing now, this avatar that you are. It changes depending on the experience you want to go on. Just like we change cars depending on the experience, if we want to go 4x4ing, or if we want to go, roll around the beach of a topless car, convertible. We just change the vessel, but it's the same people. It's the same energy field. And everybody has a unique energy field. So the following book 2, which is this one is Buddhist Mandalas,
Yes.
Christ Consciousness of a Multidimensional Merkabah. So this is the book 2 of the Buddhist Mandalas Trinity series. And basically, as you see here, this is the same artwork. I didn't come up with anything new. I just came up with my own design. But this right here is
That's your
a
book. That looks so
Oh,
good.
I
You need
match
to
my
take
book.
a photo and hold it. I can really take a
That's
photo.
hilarious. I love that. Anyway, so this is another ascended master, a master Buddha teacher. This is Tara. And in many different monastic schools, Tara teaches a lot of different lessons as well. But she is really popular for teaching about multiplicity and the multiverse. Okay, that's why when you look at Tara, she has a lot of
She's
this
in
is
motion.
yeah, she's in motion now. This is not 3 different Taras in one body that you think you see in
Right,
Hindu artwork, because in Hindu artwork, they see it. What's happened is
right.
they have lost the knowledge of the multiverse, but they think it's all coming out of one body, but it's not. It's 3 different versions of Tara existing in 3 different versions of reality at the same time, and they're all communicating with one another and affecting one another.
Okay, so what we're gonna do then? Can y'all get an idea that this
We're going down the rabbit hole.
we are going down this rabbit hole? Okay, with style. Okay, so let's do this, because I have to think, and we have people very advanced. We have people that are beginners, just so to cover whatever. So the multiverse, maybe clarify. I know we want to go on the pre-life planner for starseeds and all of that, but you know what? It's not a bad idea to clarify what is the multiverse. And I love what you're saying, that that image on the book there, that we can. I know it's a shock to some people. We can be sitting right here and also have versions of ourselves there and other planets in bodies, if we choose, and we have others that the astral form that we're doing stuff. I mean, we are our soul. We are right now, as we perceive it, so small, a small portion, like a slither of a pie, just a small portion, because we're so big. So which really gets into responsibility, because we're like, I'm just trying to deal with this responsibility with here.
Yeah.
So can you go more into the multiverse and a
Yeah.
little bit describe it more as you see it, and even getting into how you see it now as a, I don't want to label you, but your training, your early training as a Buddhist, and through your spiritual explorations, how you see this and where we are
Okay.
now. Hmm.
Right, right. So, I've always had this growing up where things would be missing or things would change. Um, Accounts. I have a really good memory of especially specific things that I really love, and how history would change, people would change, storylines would change, and so I thought it was just me for a long time.
Oh, we're talking
But
to Mandela now.
what? Yeah, we're going to talk about the
Okay,
uh,
tell
Mandela
everybody,
effect.
tell everybody what that is first, and then we're going
Right.
to go down that hole.
It's all the same thing, okay? So really in short, it's the reason why I have the companies, and the
Okay.
artwork's really important.
Yes.
What happens is your energy field your
Okay.
energy field has a frequency. It's dependent on your level of consciousness. The higher the consciousness, the more information and condense your energy field. Okay? You're like a heavy Mini Cooper that's the same weight of a, a truck. So, anyways, that's what you are.
Uh,
And if you want to change your frequency, you you raise your consciousness level. You work on your inner healing if you have any
mm,
old programs that you need to heal, and then you create and manifest more consciously how you want to create things. And that's like the basic stuff that everybody should know, but they don't do. So, anyways, what happens is when you change your frequency, you change reality. There is another version of reality that has a higher frequency, and that reality is going to match your new frequency. So, and we're doing this all the time where we're changing our frequency, we're going up, we're going down, we're going even more up. And it's basically the simple thing is just focus on what you want to experience and then follow through with the action items to get to that experience. It's very, very simple, nothing very hard. And that's how we travel the multiverse is by consciously creating our next best experience with more clarity and more kind of more loving intent for yourself to experience, so you're not creating like out of old baggage. You
mhm,
don't need that life lesson anymore.
mm-mm,
So what happens is when you start living like this and you start living more consciously, living more higher vibrationally, making these decisions and working with them, what happens is your history changes. Okay, because you've done the healing and you're moving forward and raising your consciousness, your energy field is changing, that you're in a new frequency of reality, and that new frequency has a different history as well, hence personal Mandela effects. So now you're in a reality where you look at your Bible that you've had in your family archives forever. Nobody ever went into your home and changed your Bible, but the lion lays with the lamb never was. It was always the wolf lays with the lamb. It's always been that way. And so your physical experience of
okay,
learning
tell
that
everybody where
scripture.
that is so they can look it up. You know they're gonna look it up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, where is it? What part? Because you've got a ton of Bibles too. I mean, you're Buddhist, but
I
you've studied
do. I do. I
you've got a
have been
ton of,
studying this my whole life. So I have, oh, let me see here.
yeah, you've got a ton of I do too. I have probably 12 or 13 different Bibles.
So what is a Buddhist doing with these old Bibles from 1583? The thing is, I have been following the ascension of Earth and its people as we go into the interstellar galactic age my whole life. This was part of the folklores that I learned studying art history through the student monks at all the monasteries and temples that I attended. This was the stories of explaining what a Merkabah is, what is reality, what is the multiverse, what is why are all these sentiment masters having all these different bodies and able to pop in and out from one version of reality to another. What's going, it sounds very sci-fi-ish. And then the Earth has one, and then we're going to what? So this is why I just love listening to and asking questions about the art history. So, anyways, so I have these old Bibles, and I started noticing a while back ago, but then I don't say anything until other people notice it, and then I'm like, okay, it is a trend. So there are supernatural Bible changes as well, and they're not necessarily supernatural. They exist in this reality, and they've always existed in this reality that we're existing in now. That's how they've always existed. And to prove the point that we as a collective and individually have changed our frequency at some point in our existence that is now going back in time and changing our reality, that I have these old Bibles. So if you want to pull up one of the pictures.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I've got so far I pulled in. I've got that.
Okay, let's look at that. Okay, so that really quick, that is a Latin Bible from 1590, and I actually bought this from a Protestant pastor in England. And if you look at the pencil, it's not pencil, it's feather pen marking, so you can actually tell that because the pencil marking is right below that in the middle. But this supposedly, and according to them and what they looked at, this was in the personal property of Theodore Beza, and he is one of the Calvinists. He was actually John Calvin who influenced the creation of Protestantism, the Protestants. They started the Calvinist movement, and John Calvin, one of his successors, was Theodore Beza, and they're all scholars. And Theodore Beza transcribes the Latin Bible into English, and he was one of the people amongst many others, like his friend Tremelius Emmanuel.
Mhm.
Um, he was also part of the group that translated the New Testament for the King James Version. Okay, so this is his Latin
Mhm.
personal Bible, and I have it here. I read.
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
Let's see it. Okay,
okay.
let's see it.
So here it is. Ooh, look at the light there. Okay. So it's really old. I put it in a shadow box to keep it protected,
Yeah,
and
good idea.
I only open it up just to reference any
Wow.
supernatural Bible changes
Yeah.
to be like, okay,
Yeah.
because people argue all the time. I think it's just a misprint. I think it's a,
Yeah,
whatever excuse.
they
They
do
misprinted
argue.
it all the way down to 1590 in Latin.
Yeah. Mm-mm. All right. So what are we
Okay.
I've got the Isaiah and the Matthew sent and then
So
this. So you tell me how you
go
want to
ahead,
do.
pick one up. Go ahead, pick one. Just open one up.
Okay,
So
open
this
one
is
up.
screenshots.
There's
Okay, so this is the 1590 Latin one, and I had to learn. I don't know why Source made me learn Latin. I had skipped out on my favorite high school to go to another high school that taught Latin, and it was
oh
the
my
only place that taught Latin in my whole county. And so that's what I did, and so I missed out on some fun activities in high school just to learn Latin, not knowing that the only reason why I did that
mhm.
was so that I can, like, translate these Bibles and reference for
Yeah,
real that there were changes.
that is
But
amazing. Always a reason.
yeah, but this is what it looks like on the inside. Go ahead, go to the next one. Okay, uh this is Isaiah 11. Go ahead and pull out your oldest Bible and go to Isaiah 11.
Got
Gotta
two.
shake you guys up, wake you guys up.
Man, oh man, here. I tell you what, you're cracking me
Okay,
on. Okay, hold on. Let me show you what I got first before we get into it, because she's going to prove something here. Okay, now I just grabbed a couple. Matter of fact, I have a whole box of Bibles that my
okay.
husband said, what do you
Go
want to do?
to Isaiah. Go to the
This
section
is
of.
King James, and then
Mhm.
I've got this old beat up one that someone gave me in college,
Sure,
and
sure.
this NIV.
Okay. Open up Isaiah.
Okay. All right.
Isaiah 11
Isaiah
and go down to
11. Which
yeah,
one?
Isaiah and go down to
Isaiah 11.
Isaiah 11.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Whereabouts?
Uh verse 6 starts with it's number 6.
The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them.
So where did everybody get that the lion lays with the lamb? Look at your other Bible.
Okay, so yeah, again, it's supposed to be okay. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Well, it could be this. I don't know. Look, okay, I'm not, but
Yeah.
okay, the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, the leopard shall the kid, and the calf and the young lion. I mean, the word lion's in there. Maybe they misread it. Let me get the other one. Okay. I know you've got a point, and I'm fine with you
Mhm.
saying it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah, yeah.
this is
So
crazy,
all
but I
so
believe you.
all of the movies and the statues and the picture of the lion, the lamb laying next to each
True.
other and
Wasn't
being
that in one of those movies too that with the old days, like
it's in
partner
all
best
it was in Twilight, the lions, the leader of the lamb. It's in many
they mean the movie
cathedrals.
Twilight?
Yeah, they did it in the movie Twilight. It's in many cathedrals and churches where they have pictures and
Mm.
artwork of the wolf. I mean, sorry, the lion and the lamb. Everybody
Holy
knows
crap.
it's the
This is
lion, the
saying this
lamb.
okay, now wait a minute. This is saying here okay, okay, this is another complete Bible. That was King James, which is the one of the oldest besides, of course, what you've got.
Yeah,
Uh, uh,
The King James version was created in 1611. And it does not include the Apocrypha and other stories from the Gnostics.
like the Gospel of
The-
Thomas and all of those. Yeah, I know,
They
which are
took those
really good. A manifestation.
Yeah, they took those out because they will empower you if you knew how to
Yeah, I
energy
know.
heal yourself and create and that you have dominion over physical reality.
Right, but guess what? We can supersede all that because if we go direct, the divine can tell us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
are you seeing in all your personal
okay, so
Bibles?
let
It's
me
the
just show this one. Okay, so I just showed this is the remember I said this one, and look at it. Right?
the wolf will live with the lamb.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And the leopard will lay down with the goat, the calf and the lion, then the yearling together, and a little child will lead them, which is very
So
similar to this one, which is King James, which is very similar.
the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Okay,
Yeah.
now pull up the one that I sent you from my 15. So this one is my 1583 Old English Geneva Bible, which I
Mhm.
have here. Let me put a
Okay, let's
picture
see it.
here.
Okay, there's the
So,
old Bible
okay,
you keep
that's
in a
the old
plastic
one.
case. Can't believe you have
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay, this is Holy Bible with the
Mhm.
light there. Anyways, so this is the one that I have from
Okay.
1583, and you can actually see when you show the pictures, you can see inside it. The difference between the Geneva Bibles and the King James Version Bibles is the Geneva Bibles, they're known for writing notes on the side. It's called the Bible of Notes, and
Mhm.
it would kind of like make some notations, kind of like a cliff notes for like common people to follow.
Yeah,
And the reason why this is Geneva Bible, because back in the
right.
day before the King James version came out, it was very scary to be a Bible scholar or to translate the Bible or to even talk about it because a lot of politicians at the time would they want you to write it a certain way or transcribe it in a certain way that works for them. And so a lot of people who were in that profession were blackmailed, killed, their families were harassed or killed. So it was a very dangerous time to be working in this profession as a Bible translator. Um, and so many of them went and sought political asylum to do their work in
Mhm.
Geneva, Switzerland. That's why they call it the Geneva Bible. And then and they say that there is no Jewish person that transcribed the King James Version Bible in 1611. That was a
Mhm.
part of the group that transcribed for that King James Version. Well, Emilio Tremellius, which is Theodore Beza's friend,
Mhm.
um, he is Jewish. He translates the Bible from Hebrew, from Latin into to English, and he's Jewish, and in order to save his life and his family's life, he converted to, I think it was Catholicism, one of the Christian religions, just to protect himself from being killed for being one Jewish
That's
and a
awful.
Bible translator.
People
So
forget history. They need to remember this, the
yeah, yeah,
oppressiveness. Yes.
yeah. So you have a Jewish person transcribing your King James Version Bible. You have Calvinists transcribing your King James Version Bibles. You have Muslims who know Arabic translating it, and they're all just moving around, changing their religions and their nationalities to do their work because they knew that there was some kind of metaphysical information that was important for them to do. So, anyways, above and beyond that, the King James Version Bible, they cut off the Apocrypha and a lot of the other materials as well, just to kind of condense it, because otherwise it would get really, really thick. I mean,
Mm.
and then, of course, the printing press would cut out some words as well, so you'll see that.
Yeah.
So this is a really thick. This is the
It's huge.
1583. It's huge, but the Latin version,
Which
because
is this one?
well, that's the Latin one. The Latin one
The
is
Latin
even
one.
bigger because it takes
Oh,
more words to make the same sentences in Latin. So this is Latin. This is Roman. I'm sorry. This is the fifth the English version, but you see how the thick the Latin one is? It's, oh my god, it's so heavy. It's
yeah.
so heavy and it's so big, and so they had to kinda cut it down because they were like, "Oh, the attention span of the viewers can't handle that thick of a book." So so but I got these just as a reference tool, and I learned Latin so that I
So
can I
impressive.
can read it, and make sure that that exactly what it says. And so I use it as a reference tool to measure the changes in physical reality as we travel the multiverse through our consciousness
So go
together.
well, so what the heck? What's going on here? Why does it says the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Why does everybody think lamb? A lion. Why?
Because you are in another reality. Your
Okay, so what
consciousness has left the other one that you grew up and loved with the lion chalet of the lamb.
yeah, but where
That
did you
is
ever find that? Did you ever find a book that said that? Or is there
no, and you're not, because it doesn't exist in this
all right,
reality.
let's talk okay, like just
So
for sec
show those pictures really quick.
okay, which one? The Matthew?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the 1590 Latin Geneva Bible, okay?
Mhm.
And as you can see, the notes are on the side. That's the notes.
Mhm.
So I took the Latin. If you take Latin and you just put it in the a transcriber on the internet, it'll translate it for you. But if you're not sure or you're not confident the translation is going to be correct, then you learn Latin and then you translate yourself, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty correct. So here is the verse, Matthew 6. Um, Lines 9 to 23. It's the Lord's Prayer. Now, do you know the Lord's Prayer by heart, Tamara?
Yes,
Go
of
ahead
course.
and say it. Go ahead. Don't
Uh, oh,
don't
great.
read what's on the
Great. Help
screen.
me out.
Close your eyes and say it.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom and the glory forever and forever. Amen.
Okay. It's interesting, and that's always how you known it, right? Debts and debtors.
Always.
Okay. So, go ahead and pull that up
Oh
again.
gosh, I'm afraid to look at this stuff. We're all going to hell. No, I just thought I'd throw that in there for effect. All right.
Okay. Here's the on the left is the Latin version, Panem Nostrum quitted, and you can read the whole thing out. And then the translation is, go ahead and read that.
Give us this day our daily bread and forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Okay. In the reality that I grew up with and many people, it was trespasses. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive
Of our
our
trespasses.
yeah, and those who trespass
Yeah.
on us.
Yes.
and it's always been that way. And I even have like my about over a decade ago, my husband's grandmother had the Lord's Prayer in her kitchen, and it was forgive the trespassers who trespass on us.
My grandmother used to say it like that.
Okay, so why did you change it?
Heck if I know.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. You think your
And then
grandmother spent like her whole life saying it the wrong way?
no, but what I'm saying, well, I don't know. I mean, okay,
Now you have this is what you have to be aware of what's going on in your reality. So
there it is. There. What is this? The Kingdom. How old is this?
this one is it's written on the title of the image, the
Oh, okay.
file.
It is Matthew 6:9, Lord's Prayer. It starts CLO something.
Okay, go ahead and put it back up. Okay. So, in 11. So I just showed you the Latin version from my 1590. This is the even older version of the 1583 Geneva Bible. And the other thing is the pilgrims that came to the United States, to the new country, they did not bring King James with them. They brought the Geneva Bible because they didn't want to bring the king with them.
Oh my
They
God.
didn't want to bring King James. They brought the Geneva one.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a lot of politics in that one, but there's a reason they didn't wanna bring that with them to the new land.
So let me ask you a question. You're so skilled in this. I'm so highly impressed right now. I'm just blown away. Okay, so I know that, like, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina,
Sure.
around the Carolinas. Okay, so Billy Graham's from here. Okay, we have the Billy Graham, but he loves
Yeah,
the
but
King
he
James
died many
version.
years ago when that I even read, like, long,
Well,
long
he
time
only
ago.
died what 5 years ago.
But
He was
I
he was
had
old as the hills.
I know, but I had before he died in this reality, he had died even earlier.
What?
Yeah,
Oh wait, now you're
I
blowing
had
my
read
mind.
at a
Okay.
Bartell Drugs pharmacy a Life magazine. He was in the front, and it had an old picture of him. Anyways, I had read about his life, and he had died then, and then come to find out many months later, he's still alive, and then he died, like, more recently.
Okay, now
Eh,
hold up. How's that? How can we do? How's this working? This is
it's
crazy.
working every time you raise your frequency, you go to a new version of reality, and that
Okay,
new
so
version
which
of
one is
reality
better,
has
the
different
old one when
elements.
he died or the new one he died? I don't know.
Does it matter?
Is it? I don't know.
It just says that you were traveling the multiverse. You could do it
Oh my
unconsciously, or you
god.
could do it consciously. It's more
I would
fun if you do
rather
it
do it
conscious.
consciously. I got a really awesome Merkabah. I'd rather do it consciously.
Alright? It's like you can
Okay.
ride the roller coaster with a blindfold, or you can keep your
Nope.
eyes open.
Imma look at it all. Imma look I mean,
Alright?
look, my eyes are open. I took the what is it? Is it the red pill or the blue pill? The one that makes you wake up. I'm awake.
Yeah.
I'm not going back.
Okay, so go ahead and let's finish showing the pictures real quick.
Okay, so
This just goes in the conversation about the
we've got
multiverse.
this,
Alright. Okay.
okay, back.
Yeah. We already went through this one, go to the next one. This is the Latin version of, the Lord's Prayer. Go to the next one. This is Isaiah. So this is leave it on this one. This is the wolf and the lamb, Isaiah 11. So, this is from the 1583 Old English Geneva Bible, and the thing is that it's in Roman font, printing press, and Roman font is the original Roman font is looks like this. It gives you a headache, so they had to rework what Roman font looks like so it's more
Mm,
legible so that we can read it, because
yeah,
otherwise most people can't read it. It looks
it's
like
hard to
this.
read.
Yeah, but
Mm.
if you look at it, um, over at
S Which one?
okay, 6.
Okay.
So,
The
line 6.
wolf of shall dwell with the lamb, with an
Yep,
E, lamb
there you
with
go.
an E.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there you go again, that's
Okay, we
1583.
did that.
So,
We
we've
did
just
that.
yeah, so I've already proven at the oldest Bibles that I can find that, that this is the reality and this is what is, always been. So all you people who remember the Lord's Prayer is saying, "Tris and shall not trespass on, on us," that version never existed in this reality. The version that you grew up with, where that you see on movies, you see on statues, everything
Yeah,
else,
where have
where
you seen the lion? Where did that come from?
all you people who remember physically reading and knowing about the lion lays down with the lamb, that never existed in this reality that we're existing right now, which means
Okay.
that you were from a different reality. You are from a different reality. Your consciousness has come into this reality.
So both. You're saying is that you remember both, right?
Yeah, you
I
can't
remember
change your
both.
memories, but reality is fluid. It's always changing. This is what we call Mandela effects, personal ones, and then there's
Mhm.
also the logos, like
I've
like
believe
you
both.
know like Publishers Clearinghouse. A lot of people
Yeah.
like. Do you remember Publishers Clearinghouse?
Yeah, Ed McMahon.
And what did he do?
He would go on our I mean, I'm dating myself. We'll go on Johnny Carson and he would talk about this thing. I saw it. I may be in different multiverses. I'm just saying I remember.
What do
And
you
he would
remember? What
talk
do you
about
remember?
it. And then I would get these things and then my grandmother and so forth, they get things in the mail. And then all of a sudden one day, where the hell did Ed McMahon go? It's
That's
like all of
right.
a sudden, like, his name wasn't associated with it, and it was like he never existed, and I don't know what happened.
Right. So in this version of reality, Publishers Clearinghouse, and they've even had to debunk everybody's recall of this because they don't know what everybody's talking about. They made statements on this. Publishers Clearinghouse never had Ed McMahon as their spokesperson to deliver the winning prize checks in the prize van with a bunch of people to go to people's doors and and give them a large check with roses and balloons and an entourage from Publishers Clearinghouse. That never existed.
But in another reality it did because my
But
husband remembers it too.
yeah, and I remember I love that one because my dad had a subscription to Reader's Digest growing up. We watch it on TV.
Yeah.
He would order the books on Reader's Digest just so that he can continue to enter into the sweepstakes because he was adamant he was going to win something and Ed McMahon was going to come to the door. Well, he did win something eventually. It was a $50 like backyard table set. But then he went crazy over that. But that was my history of for years watching my
So
parents do the
okay.
sweepstakes through Publishers Clearinghouse.
Okay, so you have a memory from you're saying a different timeline
Mhm.
of this, like, I saw this happen, but then I remember at some point, I don't know when it dropped off, and actually, I have to say, I just remembered when we did the Lord's Prayer, and one time I asked my husband to say this with me, and he did the trespasser thing. I said, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he's the presence, the soul that is in him came from a different version of reality
Yeah.
than you are from, and so now you guys have done some work, some consciousness work, you change your frequency, and now you guys have popped into this version.
Oh,
It's
god.
still your husband, you still love him. How many
Yeah.
times do you get a chance to date and fall in love again with another version of your husband? All your friends and families have multiple versions, and so you just
This
gotta,
is
like,
complicated.
you just gotta love them in whatever version they're at now.
So this is not so really we can whether it's a
Sometimes they'll change their eye colors too. They'll have a different back history, everything. It's
different really?
yeah. So
Okay.
I have
Wow.
clients
Yeah.
all over the world that reach out to me to do a quantum hypnosis session or a sixth sense session,
Mhm.
and many of them are started where they finally wanted to get answers for why their history has changed with their spouse or with their mom or with their family or whatever, or why I had somebody where their best friend had 5 kids and now she only has 3 kids, and she's always wanted to have 2 more kids, but they just decided not to have 2 more kids.
What?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. She thought she had 5, she lost them because now she's only got 3? I'm
Yeah, in this
confused.
reality, her best friend only had 3 kids. In the other reality, she had 5 kids, and
But
she's
does she
telling the
remember both realities?
yeah, and she's telling the version in this reality about her other 2 kids, what they named and what they were like, all of that. It actually really depressed her friends that she stopped talking about it.
That is nuts. Okay, so this is okay. So we have this going on with all this business that okay, but then we have this personal stuff. As we increase our frequency, what does
Uh-huh.
that mean? We decide that we're going to take a look at Pandora's box,
Well,
leave
I
our
told you we're gonna go down the rabbit hole.
all right, we're going to go there, and
We're
that we're
going
going to
there.
leave our let's just say we decide we're going to face it. We're going to leave our dogma behind,
Mhm.
dadgummit, and we're going to do some work, and we're going to clean up and be spiritually responsible to really take responsibility for ourselves. And we're going to try, despite we could have an abusive background, but we're going to be come from a love and light frequency that the minute that you have the true intention to do that, the true intention, a purity of intention, then all of a sudden, bam, the universe,
Bam.
the universe, the universe goes, okay, then different timeline, which is why you can be beside someone like a husband or a wife or a child or a friend or a parent or whatever, and you could go, it's still you, but I know I'm changing and I don't blame people. I keep them where they are. It's not, if I get bored and want to, sail around the universe, it's not their fault. I'm cool with that. But, but that's why it feels like you're with a different person. It's not just because you've changed. It's actually, you're on a different timeline.
Yeah,
Golly, Pete,
you
this is
are
all
you are
complicated.
yeah, you are here's the easy way to understand it. We tell you in Buddhism all the time,
Man.
focus on your present moment. Focus on your life.
Okay.
Focus on elevating your life. Stop fussing around with all the psyops and everybody else's mama
Oh,
dramas and everything else. Because they're all you're doing is you're wasting your present time and energy and attention
oh,
on this melodrama and that melodrama that you're not spending much of your day living your own personal life and working on your own personal life and elevating your frequency and your consciousness. But when you start refocusing yourself on yourself, you're going to raise your frequency and you're going to go into a better version of reality where everybody is happy and healthy.
yeah, I like that. But I think a lot of
Okay?
it has to do with intention and this
Yeah.
downtown game of duality of whatever
There's
the
nothing wrong with duality. Okay? You need a right and a left and an up and a down.
yeah,
Okay?
but it's a balance. When the balance
It's about balance. It's about balance. That's why we put the right hand and the left hand in the middle up to your third eye and kiss the universe for the blessings of our presence.
yeah,
But
wow.
yeah, yeah. But anyways, but that is how, in short, how our consciousness creates physical reality. Now, the thing is that if you love someone, you're going to respect their pre-life plan and how they chose to elevate themselves.
Okay, so talk about that because I don't want to leave people hanging. So now that you've gotten people, they're awake and they're like, okay.
No, they're
So
freaking out over their Bibles.
they're freaking out. They're freaking. Well, I'm already over that. I'm like, well, I know that some people they're very what do you call it? Pragmatist. Oh, it's God's word. It can never change. But
Some people
aren't
say it's demons, it's the hell, it's the demons.
yeah right? And
Yeah.
the thing is, it's I mean,
And
aren't we in
the
the eye
demons
of
really care
God?
so much. What's that?
Aren't we in the eye of God? I mean, why are we defining this
We
as evil? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, a lot of it depends on your perception of of how you see things. Some some people see it as a bad thing. Some people see it like in Islam, they call it the jinn. The jinn can mess around with reality and change things, but they can't take away your memories.
yeah.
They can't mess with us the memories of the soul, but they can mess with the reality around you a little bit, little bit, little bit. That's their perspective in it. Um, in some things, in some traditions, I think it's the devil or low frequency individuals, however, the jinn. Um, in Buddhism, it's consciousness.
It is consciousness.
It's
It is.
consciousness, and you are a fractal expression of source. So the
Yeah,
same ability the source has, you have in a smaller version. You're
absolutely.
just basically source. source, the universe, God, is having all this everything experience. And when it wants to take a vacation, it stops and becomes Tamara.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot it's heavy for people to admit, "You mean I'm part of this creation?" I'm like, "Yeah, you just gave us examples." We're doing this individually and collectively. That's why there's so many of us now going, "You know what? I'm choosing the happy version because I really don't wanna learn through pain and suffering. I kinda like to do it,
Yeah.
like, joyfully along the way."
Uh-huh.
'Cause things will happen, but, I wanna pick the joyful way, and I'm gonna decide, "Hey, what can I learn from this?" and not turn it like, "What's that all about?" And those people, we're on this whole different trajectory,
Mhm.
which is why we look at our backyard and we see UFOs now all the time. But right, we're on this different thing because we've chosen, I want this better world where we get along and where we can trust one another,
Yeah.
we love one another the way it should be.
And the way to change your reality is to change yourself and let
Yeah, that's it.
whatever reality come forward.
Well,
Because
that is the most magnificent journey you'll take is the journey of
yeah,
self.
so stop trying to change. There's one of us saying that people say in many traditions, if you want to change the reflection in the mirror, you have to smile.
Yes.
Stop expecting the image in the mirror to change for you. And that's what we're constantly doing is like, I need for like if you're in a relationship it's not good, I need you to be like this, and this. If my career is not good, I need you to be like this. I need this is because of this. We're always looking externally like I really want you to go on this journey, spiritual journey with me, but I can't do it without you. That kind of stuff. All that talk of expecting the external world to cater to you when you're the fractal expression of source creating from your
Mm,
consciousness.
that's some heavy stuff.
Okay. If you
Yeah.
want to change the physical reflection that matches your personal frequency, you have to
Mm.
elevate your frequency so that you create with more clarity and focus.
Well, I like how you're explaining it because it's not just being, love and light. I mean, I'm not against that, but it's about consciousness and consciously creating and consciously understanding what's happening, allowing people to be wherever they are, and that's maybe
Right.
where the love comes into love of self, love of others. But it's going to happen. I mean, you tell me what you think, Vaughn. I mean, if you're on a
Yeah.
spiritual journey, because you're definitely you definitely like me, I get bored easy too, and so you just want to keep going there. We know that there will be people, I don't know who they are, there will be people that we will leave behind, or say behind, or our reality, our consciousness, we have two different realities, but we need to be in a place of love to allow that, because
Uh-huh.
it's all about our journey. But it's going to happen, we can't avoid it, and a lot of people are trying to stop
Well,
it from happening. We can't
well,
avoid it.
okay. What you describe is what they call unconditional love. To love someone enough to allow them their hard knocks so they can pick themselves up and never
Mhm.
repeat that. It's hard to watch
It's very hard.
because as you love them, but sometimes you just can be a cheerleader and a supporter, but they have to meet you halfway. Otherwise, they won't learn their lesson. They'll keep doing it over and over again. These are the conversations that we
I
have in
know.
pre-life
I
planning for
know.
reincarnation.
Mhm.
And the pre-life planners in the spirit world who are pre-life planning and guiding, making suggestions on the excursion or the sojourn that any ancient soul is going to have in this coming into this time of the transition of the
Yes.
awakening of humanity to the next level of frequency of its consciousness of earth. This is one of the hardest life lessons that they have to
It is
endure
too. It's very hard.
is the lesson of unconditional love.
That it is, and, my, one of my master teachers is, Jesus. I don't call him Yeshua because just just what I'm used to,
You're
but
not used to it. I'm used to it. I'm Buddhist. I'm used
I'm
to
not
Yeshua
used
ben
to it,
Yosef.
but, I mean, in other lives I was, but the
Mhm.
thing is, and he talks about this unconditional love. That means despite someone abusing you, despite someone not understanding, despite whatever it is, it's still this love flow, this unconditional, and that
Right,
is
because
really hard to truly do.
that is really hard to truly do because you think it's them, but you have to understand is that it's their consciousness level. So, do you
I
blame a kid, a child, like a baby for throwing milk on the ground or an adult for throwing milk on the ground? Okay, the adult You're old enough to know better. The baby, you're conscious enough. You're not there yet. So let's
Yeah.
do some forgiveness, understanding. Forgive them because they do not know what they do.
True. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll use one of your guys' terms. So, anyways, this is the aspect of unconditional love that's really, really hard is to respect that. So then you go back, you pull back to yourself and your own journey to raise your frequency and go into the highest and highest versions of reality. And when you go into the highest and highest versions of reality in your aura field, you help everybody else because everybody else is connected to one another in the
Yes.
multiverse.
They
They were
are.
all connected to source. We're just having different experiences. One because that's the focus area. But when 1% or not even 1%, when anybody elevates themselves, they pull everything else up with them. So everybody's heart hurt, their bottoms are raised. Their
Yes.
pains are less. They're still going to experience pain in their hard knocks. It's just going to be less.
So gracious of you going through this. We didn't plan to do the Bible thing, but I was like, hey, that was a good example. And for people to be aware of that. And there's so much more on this if they Google the Mandela effect,
Mhm.
like the Bernstein or the Bernstein bears, and it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And so, and then also what they're doing with the portals is a whole nother thing. But there's a
Yeah.
lot that you cover also on your channel, and there's more available there. But to know that we can, the higher we go in a love frequency, we're helping ourselves, but we're helping others. We really are.
Right, right. And one of the except for the lesson of unconditional love, which everybody is working on, but also definitely ancient souls that incarnate as human beings for the first time or like limited times during this time of transition into higher frequencies of consciousness and reality. The thing is the other lesson that they have a hard time with is the lesson of understanding the difference between a loan and a gift. People don't really know what a gift truly is. They think that if okay, so the difference between a loan and a gift. When you take out a loan with a bank, you promise to pay it back. There's
Yeah.
something you're gonna return. You're gonna return the return the favor. Okay, you're gonna pay it back. It's a loan, like a bank loan. When you give a gift, you don't expect that person to behave anyway.
No, you
You
just give it.
thankful of gratitude. If they do, great, no problem. You don't expect them to give you anything. They don't owe you anything. There's
Right.
nothing attached. You are giving a gift of love to someone in the form of whatever the gift is. You're giving an expression of love in the form of whatever you're giving as a gift. Okay? Love has no conditions back.
You're exactly right.
Ma- Majority of people in this reality think they're giving gifts, but then they get all butthurt when somebody doesn't kiss their ass or give them like a lot of gratitude and thank yous back.
No, you're
We're
right.
mostly giving loans to people. This reality needs to learn to really give true gifts of love.
Yes. Well, you and the time that you shared is a true gift of love. And not just today and not just on the Seeking Heaven channel, but on your own YouTube channel. I mean, people don't realize this, but it is a lot of long hours and
Yeah.
they have no clue. And it takes away from family time. So I don't want to do that anymore because I do understand. But people go, oh, isn't it great? You make a lot of money. No, no. Usually the
No.
money does not usually come from, it looks glamorous, but it's a lot of work. And I understand that you're doing this because you do want to using your personality because this is your expression right now
Well,
to
yeah,
help
I
your learnings and your wisdom to help others. So I appreciate that.
yeah. I use a lot of my own funds for marketing efforts, to do my book
Me
covers,
too.
do my own stuff. I produce my episodes myself and all and so it is a balance to balance time with the family and then
Yes.
my other responsibility, my day job as well. So I do this on the side.
Oh,
And I do this on the side outside of my work hours only is part of my contract for coming in here at this time. Source kind of kicked me
mm,
out of the spirit world and said, "You got to do some site work." So I was like,
wow.
"Oh," and I was like, "If I'm going to incarnate, I will incarnate. Let me pick which version of existence. I'll incarnate when Earth goes to the fifth dimension consciousness. That sounds good. I'll do that, and I'll work with my clients that are ancient starseed souls coming into the human experience for the first or limited times, I'll work with them when they lose their way, and they send them to me, and I will work with them to kind of help them get back on the path. And that's
Now,
what I do with my quantum hypnosis and sixth sense consultations with clients all over the world.
okay, and they can and they can find that on your website, and they can contact you for services and so forth,
Hmm.
and then you can let them know if it's a fit or what they need to do, and then they
Right. Right. I am not the end all be all teacher. I'm only one in your path. When you're done with what you need, we source and your spirit posse is going to reveal to you your next set of training or your next coursework, your
right.
next teachers, your next set of experiences is
Yeah.
going to teach you. And it's just an on and on evolving thing.
Yeah.
So and that's basically it. So I do want to close this episode with this one
Yeah.
last message that I get from
Please.
source through all of my quantum hypnosis clients. And I put it into this format because they always say the same thing. So, Source God wants everyone to know that you've always been enough. Use the resources all around you to create the life you want to experience, a life full of love and joy. And the spirit world will help you through synchronicity. You can do it.
Okay, this is crazy. You almost channeled I want to cry. You almost channeled exactly what Jesus told me that I have in my fridge. It's almost the same thing. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Confirmation. That's beautiful. Thank you. You're amazing. You know, I'm a fan. I love you. So that
Maybe next time we will talk about the star seeds
and the new
a-
baby fresh.
and new baby fresh and the six senses that everybody is learning about as they amplify their energy field, and then get a teaser of our future reality that we're all working on credits to incarnate into.
I think it's wonderful. This is a lot to digest. We will do more rounds of fun episodes with you, Vaughn. Please get in touch with Vaughn. Please support her channel, what she's doing. If you feel connected, reach out. And thank you so much from my heart to yours for sharing your beauty.
Mm.
Please subscribe, like, and make comments, and support this channel by becoming a member. Thank you for your continued support.